On this episode of Siesta Key, Miami Moves, Chloe calls it quits on Amanda. Juliette calls her newfound friendship with Jordana an alliance. And Mike calls himself the next Mark Zuckerberg. I'm Lizzie Frizzle, and this is the Recap Corner. Today, we're talking about Season 5, Episode 10. In my last video, I said that the episode before this one, with the exception of its ending, was a season low for me. But I don't know why I said that. That was totally wrong. This episode is the real season low. It's called It's Not About the Bathing Suit, a reference to Jordana and Sam's tense living situation. It also accurately describes the episode, too. Because despite the title being about Sam and Jordana, their issues aren't that heavily featured. Juliette and Lexi meet for their usual rehash over delicious-looking food. Seriously, the cast has youth and money and beauty and opportunity. But the thing I'm always envious of is the food they eat at these upscale Miami restaurants. Anyway, the talk of this particular rehash is about Lexi and Mike's ongoing breakup. We flash back to a previously unseen conversation they had at the club the night before. It's standard breakup stuff. They're both struggling now that the other isn't their person anymore. Then the flashback skips ahead to around 4 a.m. that same night. Mike repeatedly calls Lexi, then shows up at her and Juliette's apartment and knocks until they open the door. The whole thing is presented in a pretty lighthearted, almost like hijinksy kind of way, which really surprised me because I thought it sounded sort of unsettling. But who knows? Maybe Mike does that kind of thing a lot, though that would also be unsettling. Mike rehashes the same events while he hangs out poolside at Sam's house. Hanging out in pool are two women in bikinis. That's gonna be important. Mike is still sad about his breakup, yada, yada, yada. Mostly, the scene is about Sam and Jordana. They haven't spoken since their awkward exchange at Grail's the night before. But Sam's decided that Jordana is too territorial of him. Mike agrees that she's secretly into Sam. But when Jordana enters the scene, what do you know? The thing she's actually territorial of are her bikinis. It's the morning after Jordana asked that Sam's women stop wearing her bathing suits, and what do you know? One of the women in the pool is wearing Jordana's bathing suit. In a weird twist, we learn that it's not the women who were snatching the suits. It's Sam. He goes into Jordana's bedroom and takes her bikinis, then gives them to the women. In an even weirder twist, Jordana reveals that there's a designated bikini drawer in Sam's house with hundreds inside. Yet he continuously takes Jordana's out of her bedroom instead. What kind of messed up power move, psychological torture is that?
I mean, I just don't understand. There's like literally a drawer here with like 100+ bikinis, and you have to go into my room and grab my bikinis to like your random girlfriends like wear.
I thought it looked good on her.
I didn't think it was a big deal. You wear my sweatpants sometimes and stuff, but if it's that big of a deal, then...
Yeah, but am I letting other guys wear your sweatpants?
No,
Jordana asks, again, for her belongings to be respected. But Sam sort of laughs her off until she leaves.
I don't know. It's just like inconsiderate.
All right, okay, whatever.
Mike chalks up Jordana's new asking for basic human decency to her hanging out with Juliette. He also warned Sam that living with Jordana won't work out, but not for the reasons you may think.
Do you really think your living arrangement with Jordana will end well?
I mean, I hope so. Like, I can deal with whatever. I'm
gonna
very
tell you
easy
right
to-
now, it's not.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
So you have all the parts of a relationship, and then you guys don't even hook up. You have to deal with a girl that like doesn't let other girls come in.
But she scares them off. I'm not kidding.
She's like a jealous girlfriend that you don't get to kiss. What's the point?
Finally, we catch up with Chloe at the beach as she recoups from and rehashes her altercation with Amanda at Grail's. She complains to her husband, Chris, that the parties of the week are no longer peaceful environments. But like, when were they ever? Also, you're the one shoving tables and making them not peaceful. Still, Chloe's glad she showed the world that if you talk trash about her husband, then she'll toss a table at you.
She attacked the most important thing to me, and I'll stand by that 1,000,000 times over. Everyone can know. If you talk negative about my husband, I will toss the table at you.
Chloe declares that there's no saving her friendship with Amanda, and she seems iffy on Juliette, too. But they all have a lot more in common than they think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I liked about this episode is a trick played by the editors in an early scene. We're at Sam's house. He's asleep in bed with a blonde woman. Next, we see Amanda waking up in similarly colored sheets. And the shots are set up to make the audience think they're in the same bed. But Amanda is actually at Madison's, formerly Kelsey's, then Kelsey and Madison's rental house. All is revealed when Madison enters the bedroom to bring Amanda coffee.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I brought you some coffee.
Oh my God, you were literally the best. Thank you.
Admittedly, at first, I still didn't get it. I just got really confused about why Madison was at Sam's house and why she was bringing him and Amanda coffee in bed. Amanda tells Madison about the table shoving contest she had with Chloe and fears their friendship is beyond repair. She also admits that she mocked Chloe's marriage because she knew it would upset her most. That Chloe can't handle criticism, or teasing, about her marriage comes up a few more times throughout the episode. It feels connected to what the psychic told her a few weeks ago, but it also doesn't feel like Chloe and Chris are about to get divorced. So I'm not sure where this storyline is heading. Probably nowhere, like most of them. Amanda officially moves in with Madison. If Camilla rejoins the cast and also moves in, the three of them could recreate that weird episode of Boy Meets World where Sean's 3 exes kidnap him. They'd kidnap Brandon, though, not Ryder Strong. Amanda returns to Chloe's apartment to pack her belongings. Chloe says she has nothing to say to Amanda. Then the two have a long conversation about their latest fight. Chloe tells Amanda she needs to figure out why comments about her partying and lifestyle trigger her so much. But Amanda's got a pretty good response.
I'm a concerned friend, and you should look at why is it that what I'm saying triggers you so much?
Why does me commenting on your marriage trigger you so much?
Chloe's response to that, not so much.
Because that's up.
It's up to judge your friends for them
It's
having
not judging
fun.
your friends. I don't want you going down a wrong path. You talking about my marriage is the worst thing you could ever do.
Amanda says she and Chloe have been through worse, like when Amanda broke Chloe's nose in season 1, and that by moving out, she's hoping to fix their friendship. But Chloe has a different perspective.
I just think, like, you are right. We've been through worse. And it's like, at what point are we like, this friendship doesn't work at all?
As Amanda leaves the apartment, a song starts to play with the lyrics, "I get triggered, triggered, triggered. We fall like glitter, glitter, glitter." Back at her new home, Amanda and Madison drink wine out of big glasses and toast to their roommateship. Suddenly, Juliette shows up, wanting to know how Amanda is doing. Amanda apologizes for saying she could have hooked up with Sam and reiterates that she doesn't want to. In return, Juliette validates Amanda's feelings about Chloe's relentless judginess. They make up and agree that for someone who claims to be peaceful, Chloe sure can start drama. Now it's time for the professional portion of the recap, where we hear some of the cast's exciting business updates. Or, in Juliette's case, not so exciting. She meets with her publicists, Dara and Gwen, and reveals to them that after spending so much money on Miami Swim Week, JMP, the label, is officially in the red. But because her business is losing money, Juliette's ready to take it seriously. Like, for real this time, super serial. She wants to put together a JMP pop-up before summer ends, which, as we're reminded again and again throughout the episode, is happening soon. It's sort of like a reverse Game of Thrones. Instead of winter coming, summer is ending. Anyway, Dara knows someone with a really cool store where Juliette can have the pop-up. My guess is that it'll happen in the mid-season finale, and it'll be so successful, JMP ends up back in the black, which means Juliette can afford to stay in Miami after all. Because I think that's probably about as complicated a story about finances this show wants to tell. Tanir visits Brandon at his apartment. He quickly cleans up toys a PA laid out. That belonged to his son, Quincy, who hasn't appeared on the show since the beginning of this season. Tanir even tells Brandon that she forgot he was a dad. And he seems kind of happy to hear that.
What's going on?
Nothing much.
How are you?
I'm good. What are you?
Picking up Quincy's toys.
I'm always like forgetting that you're a dad until you bring up Quincy.
I know, right?
Soon, like later this episode, Brandon and Tanir will shoot the music video for the song they're making. Tanir warns Brandon that her dad, Ted, founder of Slip and Slide Records, plans to stop by the set. Now, more than ever, Brandon wants to impress Ted. Otherwise, he'll have to sign the deal with Secure the Bag Records and move to Tampa. Brandon tells Tanir about the potential deal with Secure the Bag and explains that he wants to stay in Miami but also wants to sign the deal. Tanir sort of implies that Brandon shouldn't move.
I wish I could clone myself and be in Tampa and Miami. I'm so torn.
I get that. Yeah.
No?
I mean, if we do have to go to Tampa, that'd be great for you or whatever. But if you end up staying in Miami, you never know what could happen here either.
Later, we head to the music video set. I expected this to be kind of a big segment, but mostly we just see a montage of the video being shot, while another song, not Tanir and Brandon's, plays over top.
Alright, ready guys? Speeding.
The biggest surprise of all is that Juliette and Chloe aren't on set after Tanier invited them last episode. I assumed they'd come, then get into a loud argument that draws lots of attention. Because that's just sort of what happens when Chloe and Juliette go places. After the shoot, Ted admits that Brandon's performance shocked him. In a good way. If only we'd seen it. Ted learns about the potential deal with Secure the Bag and tells Brandon, more directly than Tanier did, not to take it. Partly because staying in Miami, a hip-hop hotspot, even without a record deal, is better for his long-term career than signing with an unknown label in a less connected city. No offense to Tampa. Ted also says that he himself might be interested in working with Brandon too.
So listen, for me, I won't want you to take no any deal, because Ted Lucas might be interested in doing some business with you as well. Like I told you before, you're building a brand, man.
Yeah.
I recommend you staying in Miami, you know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
And grinding, and putting the work in, opening up doors. And we're gonna make the right decision, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not in the show much, but there's something about Ted that I really like. When Siesta Key is inevitably canceled, I hope MTV reboots Making the Band, with Ted as the new Diddy and Tanier as the band's first built-in member. Sam and Mike get drinks at a bar. Normally, if these two are together, it's at Sam's house. They're only out like this when they're having serious conversations with the women in their lives. So to see them, at an establishment was weirdly a little jarring. Mike's parents are in town to attend the episode's big event, another launch party. This one is for a cryptocurrency platform that Mike's been working on for years. It's called Fanverse. Its intention is to be the first social media and NFT trading site for influencers on Web3, a decentralized, blockchain-based version of the internet that's popular among crypto people, which I am not. I don't know anything about anything. All I know is that because Mike's parents are attending the launch party, he didn't invite a bunch of random girls, much to Sam's disappointment.
Speaking of that, have you invited girls and everything to the party?
I wanted to, but my family's coming. I didn't want to be like, oh, look at all the girls I have around me now, especially if Lexi shows up, you know?
People wonder where Mike got his money from. He's been working on a cryptocurrency platform for years.
Suddenly, the reason for Sam and Mike's get-together becomes clear. It's not actually an outing between friends. It's secretly a work meeting. Mike's business partner, also named Mike, shows up. We see flashbacks of them working on logos and other branding. I realized that we've been unknowingly looking at the Fanverse logo for a while, because Mike frequently wears a chain that features it. I've wondered what it was supposed to be a lot of times, and I'd landed on an abstract interpretation of the St. Louis Blues logo. It feels good to finally get the truth. Unfortunately, Fanverse is already facing adversity before it's even launched. Mike, you can choose which one for yourself, reveals that a sponsor worth $50,000 pulled their investment that day, and the venue for the launch party canceled. Of course, Sam offers his house as a replacement venue and tells Mike, you can choose which one for yourself, that he'll do anything to help, except offer to cover that $50,000 lost investment too, which I thought the Mikes were gearing up to ask for, but it never happened. Mike wears his best loafers and no socks to the party of the week, his Fanverse launch at Sam's house. In attendance are fire eaters, futuristic women, LED samurais, and Mike's parents, Wanda and Carlos. Amanda, Brandon, Chloe, Chris, Juliette, and Madison are there too. And eventually, Lexi shows up. At first, I thought guests were supposed to wear black, because lots of people are, but several cast members go the opposite route and wear beige. Lexi awkwardly checks in with Mike, then chats with his parents, who adore her, even though she and Mike aren't together anymore. We see, via flashback, of course, Wanda warn Mike that he's too busy to be a good boyfriend. In the present, she tells Lexi that Mike didn't understand her needs, basically because men are stupid.
I don't think Mike understood because they're dumb.
I know.
I mean, honestly.
It's okay, don't.
You know.
Men
are dumb.
Mike joins the conversation and cries about Lexi's encouragement while he built the Fanverse platform. We learned earlier in the episode that in addition to emotional support, Lexi's a big financial investor in Fanverse too. These post-breakup scenes between Lexi and Mike are starting to hit hard. Historically, Siesta Key has been populated with several fake relationships created just for storylines. So seeing a real couple be really sad about breaking up is content we don't get often on this show. Mike gives a speech, thanking the party guests for attending and explaining more about Fanverse. It's during this scene that Mike says he might be the next Mark Zuckerberg.
For the ones that don't know what Fanverse is, I'm making the first ever social media platform on Web3. I personally believe it's the future. So hopefully 30 years down the road, you look back and say, I was looking at this guy, Mike, and he might be the next Mark Zuckerberg. So can you guys please do what I do best, which is party and have a great time and enjoy life?
I can't tell if Fanverse is currently an operational business or not. It officially launched in July. Just a few months later would be like the worst time to be a fledgling crypto and NFT company. When you Google Fanverse, a website is returned in the results, as are several articles about the platform. The one I found most interesting was about a Miami-based DJ named Dylan, who's credited as Fanverse's co-founder alongside Mike. Dylan got caught in a $1 million Instagram verification scam. Mike's blue check was one of the revoked verifications, though he has it back now. I don't know what to do with any of that information other than to say, shady. And to wonder if this Dylan guy is Fanverse's real co-creator, then what's up with the second Mike? The rest of the launch party is dedicated to drama. While wearing matching chains, Sam and Jordana struggle to have a conversation about their crumbling relationship. Really, Sam struggles to have a conversation because he refuses to hear anything Jordana says and constantly interrupts her. I can't imagine a worse combination.
Obviously, you told me about the bathing suits. I messed that up.
It's not even just about the bathing suit.
Jordan, I get it. I took away from your privacy. You should have your own room where it's completely respected.
It's not about the bathing suit. It's about the principle. It's the fact that I feel like you don't listen to me when I try to voice something to you.
I just didn't understand bathing suits was such a big thing. It's a bathing suit. It's a piece of rubber.
Stop saying it's the bathing suit. It's not the bathing suit.
Okay.
Sam also attempts to tell Jordana he cares about her by saying she's probably his best friend at the moment, which is probably my favorite moment of the episode.
You're like honestly probably my best friend at the moment, so we've just been like so close and it's just kind of falling apart like so quickly.
Sam insists that Jordana's friendship provides him more emotionally than he tangibly provides for Jordana. But she says she needs a reset and is thinking of possibly finding a new place. As she exits the scene, the camera focuses on her BBL.
I can't, okay? I really...
In the episode's final moments, Juliette tells Chloe that she visited Amanda, and that Amanda feels bad for mocking Chloe's marriage. Chloe's response is the kind of reasonable, forgiving sentiment we've all come to know her for.
Did she say anything about bringing up my husband and our marriage?
I mean, she feels bad.
Yeah, but Juliette, feels bad is not gonna cut it.
Juliette explains to Chloe that she attacks Amanda constantly. And we see a montage of old scenes going back 5 years to prove it.
Like, Chloe, you attack her all the time.
When do I attack her? First of all, splits were never a thing in the 20s. She just has to show off her body.
Are you surprised that I don't trust you? Are you surprised?
Are you surprised I don't want to break my nose again? All the girls can't stand you and they think you're thirsty as
Chloe argues that if Amanda and Juliette don't want to be pushed and encouraged, then they shouldn't be her friend. I usually don't agree with Chloe, but here I do, because I always feel the most inspired, motivated, and productive after my friends call me a sloppy, trashy bitch. Amanda joins the scene. Chloe announces that she doesn't want to be friends anymore. The immediate aftermath is another of my favorite moments from the episode.
We've been friends for how long? You really want to let it go over this?
Yeah. I can't with both of you.
You think you're like a new person?
Put your hands on me ever again. Don't touch me.
Dude, chill. Stop being so dramatic. What's her problem?
Who had Amanda making long emotional appeals and Chloe responding only with yeah on their Siesta Key Season 5 bingo card? Thanks for watching. Come back next Wednesday for another Siesta Key Miami Moves recap. When the Amanda-Chloe-Juliette argument spills into a third episode, Madison tells her husband that she wants to move back to Florida. Jordana seemingly reveals that she has romantic feelings for Sam, and Megan reappears to mock her for them. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. Thanks again. See you next Wednesday. Only 2 more episodes left, I think. Okay, bye.
Brandon shocked me, I must admit.
He did?
Yeah, that means a lot to me.
You caught the flow. I was good to see that you was able to catch the flow and what you was able to do on that record. I didn't think you would be able to catch that flow at first.